Happy Halloween, guys! Hey, what's to do?
Welcome back to Creatures, Cowards, and Crafting. Today, guys, I'm going to be sculpting a Halloween horror for you guys. This is part of a challenge that was initiated by Hacksaw Hobby Bunker, Carl Makes Stuff, and Earthman Bricks. So guys, spoiler alert, I'm not the best at sculpting. This is the first time I'm doing something like this, so enjoy. First of all, we're going to go ahead and use some foil, and I'm going to also have a hot glue gun. What we want to do is we want to create the basic structure of the creature we're going to make. We're also going to use some of this sculpting wire, and this is very cheap stuff. You can buy it on Amazon. What I'm going to do is just kind of fold this. This is going to be the arms, and I'm going to use the hot glue to kind of glue this down. And once we're done, the arms and foil should look something kind of like this. And just notice I've added some hot glue all over the foil just to add a little bit more strength. Now what we're going to do next is take some air dry modeling clay. I'm using some Sculpey for this. And we're just going to start to apply this all along the sculpture. When you're doing this, you can use little pieces and build. This is really kind of the fun and relaxing part of this. Remember, we're not worrying about details. We're just applying the bulk of the clay on. We'll go back and add details here momentarily. And here's just some progression as I'm building the clay up. Notice I'm just adding small pieces to this. You can do one arm at a time if you like. And if you want to, you can start kind of smoothing this out. I just take my finger, maybe a little bit of water, and do that. And if you want to start to add like shoulders or muscles, you can just take small pieces of the clay and just start adding them on like so. Again, you can just smooth this over. It'll blend very nicely. And we'll just add a little bit over here on this other side. Just kind of look at your symmetry. That's what you want to kind of follow. You don't want one side looking larger than the other unless you're going for that look. And if you want to start to add some detail, again, I'm a little cheap. I don't buy a lot of modeling tools, so I'm just using a pencil. I'm going to add a little belly button here, maybe just round out a belly. And you can also, just kind of press it in like so. Just get some indents and put that on the other side. You can also take the eraser. I've used this before, and just use that eraser to smooth things out as well. Works very well. Now once we want to work on another part of the model, all we're going to do is just take a bag and cover this up. That's going to keep the air off the clay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a craft skull from the dollar store, and I'm going to use this to build our headpiece. And just like before, we're just going to start to apply small bits of the clay to the form. Again, we're looking at where the cheekbones are. Think about where we're going to add a nose. I'm not done with the face yet, but I did want to show you guys. I'm just going to put this up onto the body like so. And already you can just kind of start to see how this concept is fleshing out. Now what I'm going to do is take some pins. I'm going to take the ball on the part, and I'm just going to use those for some eyeballs. That's the easiest way to create some eyeballs on this project. I'm also going to take some hot glue and foam and create some horns. And as you can see, we already have an evil looking sculpture. Next, we're just going to take the pencil and start adding some details to the sculpt. Here I'm adding some wrinkles to the forehead, put a little bit more there, and then I'll hold my hand up so you guys can get a better look at that. Feel free to add as much details as you like on your craft, guys. So perhaps the most challenging part of this craft was creating hands, and all I did was use the same steps as before, some foil, hot glue, and then I'll just apply those onto the sculpture like so, and then add my clay over. To add the head to the body, I'm going to first drill a hole, and I'm going to use a little bit of E6000 and some of that sculpting wire that I showed you guys before. What we're going to do is just kind of fit this into the head and the body, and we'll just press down and let that cure. Now for the legs, what we want to do is create something that we have support. And here I have some of that sculpting wire before. I'm just going to kind of bend this into a nice shape. We're going to, again, add the foil and the clay together. Here's the foil. Now, I'm not going to go too crazy in detail on the legs. You'll see why, because most of this is going to be covered up by a loincloth. And here you can see I've added some clay to the legs. I did sculpt some hooves there at the bottom. And now we're going to let everything dry. I would leave it overnight and then apply some Mod Podge over it. The Mod Podge is very important. It's going to prevent moisture from cracking the clay. So don't forget that step. So for basing, I'm going to use a standard 32mm base, and I'm just going to screw this to the foot. I think this is a 32mm base. I'm not exactly sure. Anyways, if you want to add some weight, you can use a washer, but this guy is pretty stable. I did opt to use this small base because this guy's pretty big, and I don't want anything too big on my gaming table. I'm going to prime this red, and then I'm going to go over it using a Carber Crimson. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. And we're just going to let that wash dry. Next, we're going to add some details by using a black 3.0. This is just around the eyes. I wanted the hands to look charred, and also we're going to get those hooves. I'm going to do some highlighting using a Jokeru orange and a Kindle Flame. Guys, Citadel is just really crazy with their naming convention, so I'm sorry if I'm butchering these. So for the eyes, I'm going to use a white to base them out. Once that's dried, I'm going to apply a fluorescent green. Now, I really wanted the eyes to pop. I'm going to hold my hand up here. You can almost see them glow in the dark. So that's a really great effect. For the base, I'm just going to use a standard Martian basing. I'm not going to go in how I created that. But I am going to apply some fake fur as a loincloth. I'm just going to use a little bit of E6000 to adhere that. Let's see what this looks like on the table.
An evil is tearing at the seams of the cosmos. My order feels it burning away at our mind's eye. We seal the seventh gate with sigils of the third hand. We perform the dance of the Sagittarius. Yet our minds are melting. Our rituals are failing. We are dying. In desperation, we cast the spell of the Binding King. Our power is waning, and the entity is breaking through. It will consume our sanity, mutate our bodies, corrupt our souls.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed the video and the craft. If you did, maybe hit that like button. More importantly, subscribe, follow, and share this with someone that might like this type of craft. I hope that you have a wonderful and happy Halloween. Hope you get lots of candy. Be sure to share. And guys, stay safe out there. We will catch you next week. I'm going to start gearing into some other projects. I'm going to have some other ideas, maybe getting back to some of the Mutant Crawl classics, or maybe even exploring some Dungeon Crawl classic stuff. We'll see where we go. I want to make it fun for everybody. You guys take care. Bye.